a twig, and he shot it in. "More'n once." He eyed me. "Hurts like hell." We watched the twig land and sail downstream. "They're good eatin', though. Man, they're tasty." But the crappies weren't biting. Not at twigs, anyway. So after a spell, Joey said, "Up for a swim, Rusty?" "Now?" It was getting dark, cooling off quick. "Anytime's good," he laughed. "Water's always just right." He yanked off his shirt and his shoes and flung them down to shore. Then came the socks, fling, fling, and with a little scoot forward, he grabbed the rope and said, "It's a blast, Russ, trust me." "You going in like that?" I asked, looking at his jeans. "I ain't gonna drown if that's what you're worried about." He pulled up the rope, then backed along his branch, getting ready. "And I ain't getting down to my skivvies in front of you." He pushed off and swung out over the water, hollering, "We only just met!" Mama and Dad were none too pleased to see me soaked to the gills when I got home, and Sissy told me I looked like a drowned muskrat, then went back to painting her toes. But I ate like a horse and yapped like a terrier through supper, and everyone was surprised because Mama claims I'm given to quiet brooding. So the next day, they let me go again, and the next, too, and the day after that. And before long, Joey and me were swinging doubles and bombing each other in the pool, wearing nothing but skivvies and big fat grins. We'd catch frogs and launch them into the river, too. Joey'd call, "Come and get it," to the crappies, but pretty much the frogs would just swim for a bit with their legs all sprawled, then go under on their own. And maybe it doesn't seem too exciting, doing this stuff day after day, but I had more fun in that single summer than I'd had in my entire life combined. Then, one day, it was hotter'n Hades, and we were hanging out on a big flat rock after a swim, talking about how just the thought of middle school starting up was enough to spoil the last few days of summer, never mind all the fussing your mama insisted on doing to get you ready, when Joey let out the biggest, nastiest gasser you can imagine. My eyes bugged clear out, and he laughed. "So, let's hear what you got, Rusty boy." "Nothing like that," I told him. "Nothing even close." "Ha," he said. "Let me teach you." "Teach me? To fart?" He laughed again, then stuck his behind right up in the air. "First, you get like this, Joey, honest, I know how to fart. On command." "Well, no. Depends on what I've been eating. Like, if I've been eating cabbage, shoot, Rusty, you don't need to eat vile stuff to make righteous farts. Watch." He got comfy on his elbows and knees, then bowed his head and hoisted his butt, and after a minute, he flipped around and let out the nastiest juicer I'd ever heard. He laughed when he saw my face. "It's just air, Rusty boy, just air." He flipped around again. "Here, come on, give it a shot." "Nah, give it a shot." All right. So I stuck my skivvies sky high and waited. For what, I wasn't real sure. And while Joey was flipping back and forth, tootin' and hootin', I was propped up backward, feeling like one dumb fool. "Nothing?" he asked me finally. I shook my head. "You gotta relax." I was about to tell him I'd practice at home when he charged down the rock to the pool yelling, "You gotta watch this!" He jumped into the water, then waited until the surface was calm. "Ready?" he called. "Sure," I called back, glad to have my behind back where it belonged. He held a finger up, his eyes big and bright, but all that happened was a couple of bubbles rolled to the surface. "Shoot," he said with a frown. "Too much interference." He climbed up to shore, stuck his butt up right there on the bank, then faced me and said, "Turn around." So I turned away while he peeled out of his shorts, and when he'd waded out a safe distance, he sat down in the water and called, "Okay, now look." Then he stuck a finger up in the air like he had before and waited.